What do you want? Tis I, Nathan. It's recovery month, as it's September. It's recovery month, all month. What am I doing? Well, I am buying back a year at a time, a day at a time, for every year that I used substances for. We started off in 1991, and it's now, drum roll please, it's 2006, day 16. What's been going on? Can't even see what I've put it. So we have got, it was a bit of a silly thing, please people think, certain newspapers printed some cartoon images of the Prophet Muhammad, which didn't go down very well. We have Google has bought YouTube, again, never heard of them, but purchased them for 1.65 billion. YouTube only at the time had 65 employees, so they've done rather well for themselves. We have Saddam Hussein has been sentenced to death. What we need, when you're in a violent situation, pour more violence on it. Always proves a point, I find. North Korea are faffing around again with nuclear weapons. So it seems like, as I said before, seems like that's a new thing. It's not they've been at it for years. I don't know what their end game is. I really don't. Scary thought, to be honest. We have got the 1 billionth song has been downloaded on iTunes. You're probably going to be agog when I say this, but I've never used iTunes, not intentionally anyway. I may have done. So flimsy, so fragile is my grasp of technology that I might have done accidentally. But I'm still a vinyl man. I do, believe it or not. I still like vinyl. Sounds better. All right, Grandad, shut up. The Wii is released. I've said this before. Computer games, they're lost on me. I've seen them. I've seen people waving sticks in front of TVs for different reasons. In the 90s, it's because they were on drugs. On this occasion, it's because they're controlling some avatar. Was that the word? On the TV. There we go. V for Vendetta, the film came out. Watched the film, and I read the original graphic novel by the genius that is Alan Moore. It's become this sort of omnipresent symbol now, isn't it, of anti-capitalist leanings. So that phase there, but brilliant film, and a brilliant book, as I said. My favourite now, I'm not going to mention Lance, my old mate Lance Armstrong, because I was looking for him, I couldn't find anything on him in this year, in 2006, but luckily Coldplay coming. It's a bit of a rescue job for me. They're still going strong, as they are to this very day. That is balanced out on the other side. I always like to do the balancing act, as you know, because at this point, after years in the wilderness, bizarrely not being able to find anyone to record his stuff, the brilliant Morrissey has come back well and truly into the fray. I believe this was the year his album You Are the Quarry came in. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was I know the album's You Are the Quarry, but I think that was the year it came in. Very talented man. I've got a sneaking suspicion he'd bloody hate me, but I like his work. And I was looking. I haven't mentioned TV programmes really that were popular in the years that we've been trawling through. Fear Factor was very popular in this year. I don't know why, I absolutely loved it. Garbage. It was, I think some guy called Josh or something did it, and it was American, and various people had to do death-defying stunts to earn more points to win some thousands of dollars. It was very interesting. It's one of those things you just don't have to, there's no mental activity required to engage in this program. It happens in front of you. Popcorn for the eyes, I think someone once called that sort of thing, popcorn for the eyes. What's been happening in the roughly 24 hours since I last spoke to you? A bit longer than that actually, because I did an afternoon one yesterday, didn't I? Afternoon vlog. Sounds like Star Trek to me, vlog. But what have I been up to? I've got a note down here of someone's telephone number, and the reason that is, and I've scribbled it out, because rather strangely I was approached by someone from my previous industry who expressed an interest in me to do some kind of job for them. I won't go into the details. I was bored myself reading the email, but so I'm not going to go into that neck of the woods again. I know they say never, but it's we didn't mix, did we? We did not mix. So what's been happening? It's been a funny old evening last evening, whereby which we were unsure what to watch. We've been whereby we. I mean me and the other half. On this occasion, I'll just say love of my life. There's no joke attached because that's what she is. And we were, usually we watch things on Netflix and that. We said, oh, should we watch a film? And she's been wanting to watch this film, The Hours, for a long time. And it's about Virginia Woolf, Meryl Streep's in it, and Julia Moore, or something like that, and Glenn Close. And it looked like a very good film. We decided to start watching it. As we were watching it, there is a character played by Ed Harris, and he's someone that's very, very ill. I'm not going to ruin the film for you if you haven't seen it. Well, I haven't seen the full thing myself, and you'll find out why in a sec. This bloke was very ill, played by Ed Harris, and I've suddenly realised that my partner is crying uncontrollably next to me. And the reason she is, and I mean, she's crying, heavily crying, is the image of this guy with a walking stick. And it was only near the beginning of the year that obviously I was very, very thin and I was having to use a walking stick to get round. You may look at me and think, that seems hard to believe. That's a miracle of the human body that's managed to somehow kind of put itself back together. And it brought up a lot of emotions. Did I and do I feel guilty? Yes, I do. I do feel guilty, but we chatted about it, and I turned the film off, and we ended up watching The Crystal Maze. Cheer you up after something like that. The Crystal Maze will do it. A very good another version a new version they're doing of it. But a lot of emotions were stirred up in me, and of course I do carry guilt, but it's part of me, and I wouldn't want to feel any other way. It to me proves that I am human, because previously feelings like that would not have entered my head, entered the thing that is me. Just, feelings for anyone other than myself were alien to me. So I'm glad I feel guilty. It's part of me. It's not going to destroy me. If anything, it's going to make me a better person. So that's the way I see it. So we turned it off and watched Crystal Maze. So that was that. And I thought I'd share that with you. Here's my life. Have a look at it. See what you think. So a funny start to the day. I had another using dream, drinking dream, whatever you want to call it. Whereby which I was in this wheelchair, and I was trying to hide drinks down the side of this wheelchair, like little miniatures of scotch down the side of this wheelchair. And then at one point I was trying to pay for these drinks with my card, and my PIN wasn't working. It was very frustrating. I woke up with a sense of, I said when I had these dreams before, the sense of chuffing relief that it was just a dream, which is a good sign for me, right? So if I'd have woke up gutted that I hadn't, that it was a dream and I hadn't had this dream, then I'd be really concerned. But relief is a good thing for me. Relief that hadn't actually happened, Good. That's what I take from it. I'll try and take the positive from everything at the moment. And strangely as well, at the time, as I was coming round, I had a little bit of a lay-in today, unusual for me, but I had a bit of a lay-in. And as I was having a lay-in, that thing where you're half asleep, you're sort of in between dreaming and wakefulness. And I had a memory come back to me of a library where I was, where I grew up, that I used to visit with my mother, and the smell of it, and it was during the summer, and the sun was sort of beaming through the blinds,
and the smell of it and the place of it, and my mum with me going into that library. Do you know what? I'd forgotten all about that library. I'd forgotten what it felt like, and I keep getting these little memories coming back in as I go through recovery. Keep coming back in. I think maybe it's the old neurons. Nina and the neurons. You ever seen that? With children, probably has. And I think they're joining back up or talking to each other again. So these emotions and these memories are coming back, which is a great thing. It was a really comforting thought, particularly after the horrible nightmare I had. It was a very comforting thought. It's just strange how that keeps happening. So today we were planning to see Spider Monkey, Captain Oates, and Mrs. Pepperpot. I have got a nickname, by the way, and my friends will know what that is. But maybe if you stay tuned, maybe I'll reveal that at some point. It's nothing grand, but I think I'll do that as we move towards the end of this whole ordeal. This bloody ordeal. So the plan was to go into town and meet them. We got a coffee and a chat, and unfortunately, because there's a meeting that Captain Oates and Spider Monkey are going to later on, they decided to make their way into town a little bit later, which is understandable. They don't want to be hanging around, even with the delightful me, for that amount of time until the meeting kicks off. And the important thing for them, and for anyone, myself included, get to the meeting. You know, that's the important bit. As lovely as coffee with me is, but Mrs. Pepperpot, who these real people, Dave. Mrs. Pepperpot. I tell you what, if ever you've, yes, they are real people. The reason we call her Mrs. Pepperpot, if ever you've seen the children's book my mother used to read me of Mrs. Pepperpot, a tiny little lady who's only as big as a pepperpot, a little bun on the top of her head, lovely, adorable. When I first saw her, that's what she looked like. That's what she reminded me of. So very positive references to Mrs. Pepperpot. We met her instead. We met her in a little coffee shop in town. How do I describe Mrs. Pepperpot? I'll tell you how to describe her. A force of bloody nature. Incredible. She's mad as a box of frogs. Absolutely crackers. Crackers. In the best possible sense. It's got a memory of a goldfish. Like Dory out of Nemo. Which means she's never bored. Oh look, I haven't seen that shot before. You have. 5 seconds ago. So she met us in the coffee shop, and she lovely, very easy when you meet Mrs. Pepperpot, because what you do is you just sit back and experience it. It's like going to the cinema. You know, one of those, like you go to Thorpe Park, or one of those things where they do 4D cinema, where you get sort of things sprayed at you, and like, you know, wind goes across here and then like a bit of water sprays at you, and you've got the 3D image. It's like that, ramped up to maximum. So we sat there. It was good to catch up with her, because she's, as we all have from time to time, isolated, you know, because of her recovery, and because, like myself, she's an addict in recovery, and sometimes she does isolate. So it was lovely to see her out. She was full of life. She was bouncing. She joined a gym. She told me about this gym on text over the course of the last 12 hours. If she said gym once to me, she said it 12 times. Go to the gym. Think about going to the gym. Gym's a good idea, isn't it? Shall I go to the gym? Have I told you I'm going to a gym? I said, have you, by any chance, joined a gym? And when I said to her today, how many times have you been to this gym then, Pepper? She went, just the once. But great that she's out into the gym, full of life, as she is, and she's like a tornado. She comes into the coffee shop. Me and the other half were whipped up in this Welsh as well. If you can hear her all thick Welsh accent, delivering all this, I don't know if it's news, random snippets. I don't know what they are. It's very entertaining though. And you get whipped up in it, and then out, we get carried out on in this Welsh tornado. Out you go, and she just dropped us onto the pavement, and off she went. And I think I actually turned around to the other one. What the bloody hell just happened there? It was lovely to see her, and she is doing a course with me next week, as is Spider Monkey and Oates. So we're going to be together 3 days next week. So there'll be plenty to talk about on the vlogs there. Going back into a school environment. Good luck, Dave. Good luck. We'll be back in. Whatever you do, don't act like you did when you was in grammar school. Are there cricket? Are there any bike sheds around here? That was an all boys school. What am I talking about? Not that that's wrong. I'm just not homosexual. Not last time I checked anyway. So from there we decided it was it started to drizzle a little bit. Luckily today bought Wellington boots. I've been banging on about Wellington boots for probably about 3 weeks now, maybe 4, and I've finally managed to find some on the cheap in the market. What I didn't want to get into a situation where, because we like walking, Nathan, we know if you said walk, I've probably mentioned walking 10 times more than Mrs. Pepper Potter's mentioned the gym, you cheeky swine. So we like to walk, and I didn't want to be caught in a situation where I only had like summer shoes and we couldn't go out because it was too muddy because we were on the back of fields, etc. So when I got those, very happy. My amygdala was satisfied. Now my amygdala, I got someone stupidly, my counsellor, introduced me to the concept of the amygdala when I was going through my rehab. Apparently it's linked to the reward mechanism in the brain. It's the bit of the brain that says, I think it's from the sort of the primitive part of the caveman part of the brain, for want of a better term. That when you eat a berry, it says that was a good thing to do. Have another berry. Have a little, reward of endorphin or whatever it is. Have another berry. I think mine's a little bit scooched, as are most addicts, from what I could tell. And when I have a berry, it says, have lots of berries. And if anything gets in the way of you having as many berries as you possibly can, get angry. So my amygdala, I always picture, is sort of a Victorian gentleman, very, very pompous, that sits in a leather-backed chair and just demands the finest things known to man. And my God, if it doesn't arrive to him at that exact point, is unbearable. Crystal decanters are being thrown against the wall. People are being fired from his estate, left, right and centre. That's my amygdala. We'll call him Charles. Charles Amygdala. So he was glad that he got his Wellington boots, because he would have chucked his decanters out the window onto unsuspecting passers-by. So got those. We can walk to our heart's content, as we often do. So we're back, and my Charles Amygdala also wanted Chinese. We had to meet at a I know I was going on about matzo balls. I did go on about them again this morning, by the way. I wanted mozzarella and peas. She went, no, Nathan, no, not again. Please, no more mozzarella. I then went on to the idea of a Chinese takeaway. She went, pricey and full of salt, not good for my liver, which has taken significant and lifelong damage. So we stopped halfway, and we're gonna do like a stir fry thing. So I'm happy. Charles the amygdala has been pacified to a certain degree. So that's it tonight. We won't be watching the bloody hours again. I can tell you that, not for a while. But how lovely to, I consider myself, I know I'm lucky. I think if you've got anyone in your life, anyone at all, that loves you and cares about you, then you're a lucky person. Because some people ain't got that. And I know that's a bit of a serious note, but obviously I did find yesterday very, very touching. And I'm a very, very lucky man on many accounts. A, to be here, and B, to have someone that loves me to that level, to be affected by that, to that level. I can't even put it into words. There you go. Broadcast my emotions in their rawest possible way, right across the airways. Have a lovely evening, and give someone you love a massive cuddle, and enjoy a pleasant evening. I will see you tomorrow for day 17. Be good to each other. Peace and a whole world of love. Take care. Bye bye.